nationalities. However, several decades after, the country experienced upheavals in its political and social lives. And to tackle the challenges, the country's leadership deemed to it fit to rebrand. And 2009, the Good People, Great Nations phrase was chosen to be the slogan, with a desire for a society in which internet fraud, impersonation, forgery, business email scams, and money laundering is not subculture.
We can have the Nigeria of our dream, which is, of course, the strategic location of the country. We have the Africa of our dream through Nigeria. But so many things have to be put in place. We are totally out of the way to achieving this kind of a goal we are talking about. And if there's going to be any achievement of these goals, forget about starting from the base. It has to start from the top.
Early before the advent of the colonial masters, we have our own philosophy of dignity, integrity, loyalty, hard work, and transparency. All these ones are our watchword. And considering the nation, even right from 1960, during the period of Awolowo, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Kokori, and those who have fought for democracy, and the NADECO and those groups, they met good for this nation. At least viable, good roads, stable electricity supply, even agriculture, building human capacity. All those ones are our virtues. So Nigeria can easily maintain those dignity of what we desire. Because what you are experiencing today is not the Nigeria of our dream.
With the focus always the government to turn things around, Nigerians often overlook the role of personal responsibility in creating the ideal society of our dreams. A country where everything works, with a great democracy, good roads, free healthcare to a certain level, free education, care for the physical challenges and the elderly, to mention a few. In all of them, however, what is the role of the Nigerian citizen?
In this same country, where everybody was, orderly, obedient, and ruling, talking about health. And the same set of Nigerians are still in place now, where teachers mustn't even
Good afternoon, everyone. You're welcome to the studios of Ondo Decides, coming to you live from Abuja, the nation's capital, the studios of King Adebayo Film and Theatre Arts Network, popularly referred to as KAFTAN TV. My name is Macaulay Honohashi, your uncle for today. I'm not the only one in the studio. I have my co-uncle, a beautiful lady seated by my left, Ikaite.
Welcome. My name is Ekaite Ibut.
Well, we're going to open our telephone lines in the course of the show. And at this juncture, let me introduce our guest who has already joined us live in the studio. He's no other person than the prolific Dr. Obadiah Mbila, political analyst, communication specialist, as well as the Chief Executive Officer of Love Work Media. Dr. Mbila, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you so very much. It's my pleasure that you have me in your studio today.
Yeah.
Your name has been a very old name in the communication.
In the media circle.
Yes. So,
is that what they're talking about?
So glad to be on the same city.
Thank you, Dr. Mbila. Well, you know, let's start from something quite interesting. I'm interested in native names, particularly Nigerian names. You know, there's beauty in Nigerian names, and they have they connote strong meaning.
That's right.
How do you come about? Did you come about the name Mbila, and what does it mean?
Well,
because the reason why I love Nigerian names is that I keep telling people that give their children Oyibo name. Let's put it, you know, in local parlance. Oyibo names. I see them as victims of cultural imperialism.
Yeah, it's an extension of colonization of some sort, and though I still have a name that Obadiah is not an Igbo name. I am from Ohofia area of Abia State. But Obadiah was given to me by my father, thinking that it would make me more Christian than Carlo, that is a local name. Yeah, but Mbila is a name, a common name in Ohofia area. It actually means what I am.
What I am.
And the reason why we take it as a name is because only what I am is the only yam that does not have thorns on its plumule. So it's a symbol of peace. It connotes peace. So anyone that answers Mbila is generally referred to as Akwukwo Mbila, the one that does not give trouble, that does not cause violence.
So like you have just said, the name connotes peace.
Exactly.
Would you say you were born when the atmosphere, probably the community was actually, you know, those days were faced with a whole lot of wars, communal wars. Yes. Yeah. Would you say you were born probably after the end of a particular communal war or something?
Well, it may have been the reason. You know, it's my surname. It's not my first name. It's not my second name. So Grandpa, who is now late, didn't allow us to know why it was given to him. But like you rightly said, Ekaite, there is no name that does not have meaning or related to an event, context. You know. So for me, I think the Mbila we bear as a family name must have come either as a post-war birth, you know, at a post-war birth, and then they now feel, okay, you bear Mbila because you came at a time of peace.
Okay.
Wow, interesting.
Well, Ekaite, that's on a lighter note, but on a more serious note, all attention of the media and the entire country is focused on Ondo State because today is the D-Day. It is crunch time. The people of Ondo State have a franchise to decide who is going to lead them in the next 4 years as their governor. As you're all aware, 17 political parties have already fielded candidates, and the candidates, there are frontline candidates, and they are the ruling party headed by Governor Loke Aiyedatiwa, that is the All Progressives Congress, and the major contender, the People's Democratic Party, as well as the All Nigeria People's Party, NPP, and the Labour Party. And today, like I said, is the D-Day. Elections have commenced. From what we're hearing, there are glitches here and there, but they are not major glitches. Voting has commenced. Accreditation have already taken place. And Doctor, let me ask you, 2,053,061 voters to exercise their franchise. Take us through the trajectory from what you have been monitoring over the years. Ondo State is one of the off-cycle elections. It's not the normal elections that you have all the states coming together. So, how far so far?
Well, you know that Ondo State is one of the states in the Federal Republic that has a very peculiar history. Beginning from 1999, when AD ruled that state. Yeah. And then coming to 2003, AD was defeated by PDP.
Was it Mimiko?
Not Mimiko, that's Olusegun Agagu.
Agagu.
Yes, led to Olusegun Agagu.
That's right.
Who was a minister under Obasanjo, succeeded the incumbent, who happened to be of the AD. Well, there are so many stories that
you wouldn't go into that.
Came with that change, so let's not go there. But an interesting thing we should note here is that Ondo has not been stable with one particular party, meaning change is always possible, because when Mimiko came in with Labour Party, nobody believed him. We were thinking that it's either AD or PDP. Suddenly, Mimiko took over and became the elected governor of Ondo State. And that's the beginning of the history of Labour Party winning any election. It started in Ondo State.
Yes.
So today, we have the incumbent governor who succeeded the late governor, you know, and it appears he have received a very wide endorsement, because when people like an elder statesman, a former president of the Federal Republic, Olusegun Obasanjo, could come out to endorse him, you know, it can shake the voting attitude of the people. So we expect that it's either APC or PDP. Reasons: when at the build-up to the election, the PDP stalwarts from the southwest came out to make a case, and they protested the Resident Electoral Commission, insisting that he must be changed. That voice did not go unnoticed, believing that after the change of the REC, there will be a smooth election. Let's watch the development. At least election has commenced. The REC has been changed. The governor of Oyo State is, according to him, very, very interested in the election. So also other chieftains. But let us also look at the role a PDP chieftain like the former governor of Ekiti State, Ayo Fayose, who had come out openly to endorse the incumbent governor against his own party candidate. So what does all this mean to the incumbent governor? Will it be a runover, or will PDP pull up surprise? Or are we going to expect what happened during Mimiko's time, that either Labour Party or NNPP will spring surprise? So, Ondo Decide, we are waiting.
We are waiting. Well, you've talked about the fact that Fayose has endorsed a candidate that does not belong to his political party. That lends credence to the saying that there is no permanent friend in politics, neither is there a permanent enemy, but permanent interest. What would you say is his interest? Interest, is it because of the infighting within the PDP or?
Exactly that. Exactly that.
Okay.
You know, Fayose was trying to position himself as the leader of PDP in the Southwest. And during the build-up to the election, in the 2023 election, they factionalized the PDP in Ondo State. He had his own group. Senator, what's her name, had her own group. There were about 3 splinter groups within PDP. Barrister Femi Oke also.
Femi Oke, yes.
Had his own group too.
He was one time secretary of the ruling party then. PDP.
Yeah, he was the
national level.
He was the
legal advisor.
Legal advisor, that's
Exactly,
right.
yeah.
He was the national legal advisor.
Femi Oke.
Yes. So you can now see that what happened to the build-up of 2023 election really destroyed the fabrics of PDP.
Okay.
So for PDP to come together again, and at this time when they should be healing, when one should think that they should be healing, and people like Fayose, who happen to be a very vocal politician in the Southwest, should stand firm to say, let's rebuild our party with a candidate, you know, with a candidate of our party, is telling everyone, look, PDP can keep their, that's the statement he made, PDP can keep their party. I am endorsing an APC person. And then, of course, Obasanjo, who is a beneficiary of PDP platform, had also come out openly to support the incumbent governor. For me, that means so much for the incumbent governor. So to take extra energy from the or the part of the PDP candidate to defeat the incumbent.
Okay.
Okay, sir. You have just rightly pointed out the overwhelming support by the candidates of by Lucky, the incumbent governor. Would you attribute the overwhelming support to his past trajectory, probably from what his late predecessor had done for the state, or could it just be that the power of incumbency is just playing out now because, like you have rightly said, he is enjoying presently an overwhelming support from even the past presidents, Obasanjo, including the past former governor of Ekiti State, Fayose. Would you attribute that to his past trajectory? Probably these few months, what he has been able to achieve these few months he took over from his predecessor. Or yes, or could it just be that is the power of incumbency that is playing out here?
Yeah, generally in politics, you know that all factors work together to bring the fortune that a candidate will need to win an election. Don't forget that it was not easy for the present incumbent APC governor to succeed Akeredolu. He wasn't the choice candidate for Mrs. Akeredolu and those that were supporting the late governor. They actually wanted a different candidate to succeed the governor. But the man played his game in such a way that he was able to maneuver all the hurdles that were kept on his way. That's, for me, is good politicking quality on his part. He was able to weather through the storms and finally emerged the governor of Ondo State. Within the few months that he became the incumbent governor, he succeeded in rebuilding confidence among his party men, especially those who were like, oh, it's not going to be him. So I didn't know how he managed to woo them, and they became one family once again. That accounts to some extent the reason why one will expect that he might emerge victorious, because APC is going into the election as one house, as one family. There's no division. Even if there are people that are not satisfied with the brokered peace, they are keeping it behind. They are not pronouncing it. Now, add to this, at a stage, he was able to woo the entire members of the State Assembly to work with him. That's also an additional, it's a plus on his own side. What that means is that from the state constituencies where these members of the State Assembly are from, he can go to sleep. The members of the State Assembly are going to work assiduously to make sure that they return the incumbent governor. So that also counts for him. Then he also has done so much in reaching out beyond the state, beyond Ondo State. He has gone into Ekiti. He has gone into Oyo. He has gone into nearly all the Southwest, shopping for endorsement. And he has gotten enough of the endorsement that he's looking at. I've previously mentioned the endorsement of former President Olusegun Obasanjo, who is not, whose voice means so much. And I've also mentioned Ayo Fayoshe's endorsement, and so on and so forth. This counts or will count for him. I don't think I have read so much about his achievements in the area of infrastructural facility provisions, or a particular vision that stands him out from other governors. I don't think I have read that, but I do know his relationship with people has been very cordial. He has been building momentum, to enable him pull through in an election like this.
Doctor, you have itemized, factors that aggregate to form the fulcrum of, ensuring victory for, most likely for the incumbent governor. And we're going to take a short report, because against the backdrop of what you have mentioned now, from the optics for him to win election, one factor remains very, very sacrosanct, and that is the right of the voters to exercise their franchise.
Exactly.
So let's take a look at this report where citizens are talking about their rights to exercise their franchise, packaged by our correspondent. Please take a listen.
A nation where citizens are armed with the ballot has the powerful to shape its economic landscape positively, rather than otherwise, through the act of voting. Meanwhile, the right to vote is not just a privilege, it is a powerful tool that shapes the economic destiny of a nation.
When elections are free and transparent in this country, it will result in a very good atmosphere that will, assist fast-growing business in Nigeria. It will give us the room. I mean, it will give the investors room to come and stay in Nigeria. I'm sure of that.
It can. When elections are done in a very transparent way, definitely it will give, let me say, courage to investors, because everybody will be sure that the leadership that is emerging is a product of the will of the people.
They also stated a transparent and fair electoral process is essential for attracting investment and boosting economic growth, which can promote accountability, stability, and predictability.
If the economy, if the voting is peaceful, fair, I think the economy will be boosted, in the sense that we are in a situation of peace. Definitely, people will like to come and invest in the country when there is peace.
It sure will do it. If we have integrity in how our elections are conducted, definitely we will know that those that are going there surely will be people with integrity. When you look at the politics of Nigeria, it's a dirty, they will say it's a dirty game. But when it comes to election, it's done in such a way that the will of the people oftentimes don't prevail. A lot of manipulation is involved. The best don't get there, which is an issue that definitely will affect investment. People that are going into power for their selfish interest will get there. They will steal, they will loot, and destroy so many other things, definitely to affect the economy.
Meanwhile, voting integrity is crucial for countries' economic growth, because when government is stable and cohesive, voters can hold accountability for electoral integrity, which attracts investment, promotes good governance, and fosters stability.
I want to respect two states in Nigeria, and these are Ekiti and Osun State. They don't take anything for granted. They change government that doesn't, favor the people. They use their election to change the system. Let us allow people that are popular to contest election. The contestant should be chosen by the people. But by the time you impose your own candidate by buying votes here and there can never be peace. So we should allow this right of the citizen to prevail.
Democracy is all about that. Each man, one vote, and it's your right, the right to vote. The moment you are 18, you have that right to vote. It should not be denied anybody in whichever way. And that's why we keep saying our votes must count. I have friends, I know people that election time, election day, they stay indoor. Because they keep asking us, okay, all these years you have been going out to vote, what has it done for the country? Because some will tell you that it doesn't count. For this last election, this last Saturday election, a lot of accusation that results were manipulated, that they were writing figures. That was not, a lot of things. And all these things are things we experience. It happened in Nigeria. People see it happening. People must have confidence in the process so that they can believe that their vote will count. It will have meaning. And that's, when that happens, you can be rest assured. A lot of things will fall in place.
In conclusion, the right to vote is a fundamental pillar of democracy, enabling citizens to have to say in the direction of their country. By electing leaders who align with their economic priorities and policy, citizens can influence decisions on taxation, budget allocation, trade agreements, and economic regulation.
You're welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're on to Ondo Decides 2024, coming to you live from the Abuja studios of King Adebayo Film and Theatre Arts Network, commonly referred to as KAFTAN TV. My name remains Macaulay Honohashi, and still with me in the studio is my co-anchor and colleague, Ekaite, as well as Dr. Mbila. Doctor, let's come back to you before Ekaite will ask the next question. Citizens' right to vote, to exercise their franchise. Nigeria is a country of skepticism and cynicism. You will not get tired of hearing that even if I come out, my votes will not count. Why are people having this kind of fixated mindset?
Macaulay, I'll tell you this. Do citizens themselves realize that it is their responsibility to assert their rights? I've watched several elections since 1979 and participated also. I've done 2 different elections as a candidate.
Okay. What did you contest for? I'm interested in knowing.
Yeah,
you had in the race for what?
Yeah, I actually contested for State House of Assembly.
Okay.
From my Ohofia South constituency.
Under which platform?
I contested 97 under UNCP.
Okay, UNCP then.
And then contested again under PDP in 2003.
Okay.
Now, what is my experience?
What is your experience?
The citizens themselves appears to have been hoodwinked to believe that we don't know where to vote. Therefore, let's go to Bonohashe. Mr. Bonohashe will tell us where to vote. Then they'll come to you. Where do you say we should?
Where's our direction?
Now, this ought not to be so.
You're right.
A citizen is supposed to know that come rain, come shine, I've decided that it must be Mbila or no. It must be PDP or no. It must be APC or no. I can tell you up to the time when they will line up and queue for voting, most of them do not know actually who they want to vote for.
Okay.
Now, do you call that right?
No.
Do they know their rights?
Exactly.
So the politicians now takes advantage of this ignorance on their part and direct them to where they vote. Go to polling stations.
The direction may be wrong.
Of course. If you were in PDP and the lady wants to vote in APC, will you encourage?
No, I will encourage her to go for...
That is it. And that's exactly, apart from vote buying, that's exactly what you see that takes place in every polling booths. Those active women that are politicians say, have you voted? No. Come. Vote here. That means the citizens who has the right to determine who to vote for did not decide who to vote for up till that time.
Okay, Mbila, at that point, would you attribute that to the ignorance of the electorate, or you would say is the fault of the parties involved and probably the candidates? Because during campaign is meant for you to create awareness, to educate your potential voters. You are supposed to educate them, come down to their level, to the point where, each political party has its own logo. You should be able to educate your potential voters to tell them, this is it. You should get down to the level where without them being, there's no point of getting scared, or maybe somebody from a different, somebody comes to confuse them on whom to vote for. Because if you do proper campaign, before the day of the election, I think that shouldn't even be, it shouldn't even be a problem, because before that time, your voters should be well known as somebody who is standing in for election. your people should be able to know that, oh, this is actually the party I want to vote for. This is actually my own contestant. Because before now, you were supposed to, the candidate is supposed to post his posters everywhere and all that.
It's not an excuse that the voter is ignorant.
Yes, it should be
his fault.
Yes.
So what is the role of political parties in ensuring that they are well educated to make the right decision?
Yes.
It might interest you to know that I have argued, and strongly so, that the electoral, our electoral umpires has a role to play in enlightening the people. So also the National Orientation Agency. The political parties can only limit their education or the awareness they are creating on the party they are contesting on. They'll come to a Kaite and say, Kaite, see, our logo is cock or whatever. But believe me, on the day of the election, most illiterate voters will still go to the polling station